Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. I am so excited about the reading vlog this week. I'm going camping, so we're going camping a little bit outside of Denver this weekend, and I have so many spooky books ready to go. I can't wait to have my spooky summer camping experience. I have quite a few books on my list this weekend. And I'm hoping to get to most of them, if not all, but mainly I've chosen shorter horror reads just so that I could knock them out while we're on our camping trip. So the first book that I have on my list for this weekend for my camping horror blog, Summerween, is The Law of the Skies by Gregoire Courtois. But it seems like a dark comedy horror and a really easy way to get it started and kick things off for the weekend. And for Summerween, the description says Winnie the Pooh meets the Blair Witch Project in this very grown-up tale of a camping trip gone horribly awry. So it just sounds like a fun time, silly, campy, which I love. I also am a huge fan of both Winnie the Pooh and the Blair Witch Project. So I really don't see how this could go wrong. I don't expect it to be the best thing ever written, but I am just looking to have a spooky good time and read it by campfire. So, and I think because it's a camping trip gone wrong, it'll be perfect and hopefully even be a little bit more scary since I will be camping. I have the ebooks and the audiobooks for all of these because I want like the full effect. I'm gonna like read along to the audiobook or read along the ebook while I listen to the audiobook and really immerse myself. So can't wait for that. The second book on my list is What Lurks Beneath by Ryan Lockwood. This sounds like a sci-fi suspense horror. There is a creature in the water attacking people. It's in the Bahamas. I think this is like will be the perfect summer read. Have a little bit of suspense. We're also, where we're camping, there's a lake, so we'll be by water, and I think it'll be the perfect fulfill for a summer horror spooky read. It says, from the acclaimed author of Below. I haven't read that. I have heard good things, so maybe I'll put it on my list and give that one a go. And I'm pretty sure that's also about water, so I guess that's his thing. But it says, comes a new breed of terror that rises from the depths of the ocean to hunt, to devour, to kill. Ooh, okay. I am scared of water, just straight up. I didn't learn how to swim until I was like in my teens. I was very scared of water growing up, and I still am, and I'm just not a good swimmer or a confident swimmer, and I just don't enjoy it a whole lot. So anything that has to do with water tends to scare me more than most things, and I'm really susceptible to that. So I'm looking to get spooked by this one. I really want to be scared. And I love being scared, I want to be scared, and I'm really hoping that this does that. I also have both the ebook and audiobook for this one, and initially I was just scrolling through Libby to see their horror reads, and the audiobook of this one caught my eye because on the cover it says graphic audio, a movie in your mind. So I was like, oh, interesting. And honestly, that sold me. I was like, I'll give this a go. And the last one on my list is Starve Acre by Andrew Michael Hurley. Now, this sounds kind of like a drama horror. This couple's child passes and they're really grappling with grief. And within that, they believe that his spirit is still there, and they seek out some occultists to kind of dredge his spirit up. That's what it seems. It also says that the dad, in an effort to get his mind off of his son, he starts digging in the field beside their house and looking for this legendary oak tree. And it just sounds like a really chilling, horrific drama about grief, what you go through in those moments. It says it's a novel about the way in which grief splits the world in two, and how, in searching for hope, we can so easily unearth horror. So I don't know how scary this is going to be. I hope it is scary. It says that it's atmospheric and unsettling story, and it's also set on an ancient farm in northern England. So I think that will lead to the foresty feel that I want when camping. And this is the last one on my list because it does sound a little bit more deep and not as spooky, but I'm still gonna give it a go. I also checked out on Libby a Goosebumps graphics novel. So it's just like a graphic novel that's Goosebumps, but it's the Scary Summer edition. And I just thought if I am bored or want something to do, I could read this for a little bit of fun and a laugh. It has 3 stories in it, and the stories are The Horror at Camp Jelly Jam, Ghost Beach, and Revenge of the Lawn Gnomes. Ghost Beach is also a book in the Goosebumps series. That's like a full book. And I've also considered checking that out and just reading that. We'll see how it goes. Hello, sweet boy. Hi, so it's Saturday morning now. Last night we just got all set up and had dinner. We had some Beyond brats and potato salad. And once we got the campfire going, I sat down and read. I got about 70% into The Laws of the Skies before I went to sleep. And then this morning I finished it over some coffee. So when the synopsis said that it was like Winnie the Pooh mixed with Blair Witch Project, I get why it said that, but also like I anticipated something totally different. It was super dark, like very dark, and major trigger warnings for like harm of a child, but overall I did enjoy it. There was a lot of imagery and atmosphere, especially like with the woods and animals and camping. Overall it was a bit spooky. It definitely read like kind of like a dark fairy tale, especially with the audiobook. The audiobook narrator had a voice that would read like a fairy tale kind of thing. So it was like English and he was very proper and like soft spoken, and it was like a really weird contrast with what was actually being read. Overall, I did enjoy it. I think I'll give it a 3.5. I think it's a good read. It's just super dark and sad. There's some body horror in here if you enjoy that. Nothing too crazy, but a little bit of body horror. And overall, it took a turn that I did not expect. I thought it would be more like, I don't want to give it too much away, but I expected there to be something dark in the woods trying to get them, but it is not that at all. And it's just so dark. There's a lot of deaths in here, a lot of sad and tragic ways to go, especially considering the camping trip is children, so that was kind of tough to read at times, so be aware of that. I didn't think it was super scary, but overall I did like it, and I think it was a good read to read while camping and like for summer vibes. But now we are going to go on a hike, and nothing too crazy since we got our dog with us, but we are gonna go on a hike, and then when we get back, maybe make some lunch, and then go to the water by the lake and just sit, and I'm gonna start It Lurks Beneath. So yeah, I'll update you later. So it's later in the evening now, and we just had dinner and some marshmallows, and we're just sitting by the fire. But earlier we went on a little hike, and then we went to eat at this restaurant called the Golden Barrel because we always eat there when we're here because it's all vegan. And then the rest of the day we just sat by the lake for a few hours pretty much. I read What Lurks Beneath. I did just finish it. You know how I mentioned the graphic audio that I was super excited about? Well, it turns out the ebook doesn't translate over with that, so I couldn't read along, which was a bummer. But that's okay. Overall, the book was meh. I think I'm gonna give it 3 stars. I did like it, but overall, there wasn't a ton of suspense. It was told from the people's point of view as well as the sea creature's point of view, which I did not enjoy at all. I wish that it was just told from the people's point of view, because anytime anything scary was about to happen, we knew it was going to happen, because the sea creature would be like, oh, I'm gonna go eat this person. So that really bummed me out and made it not scary at all. It was kind of silly that it did it like that, but the last quarter of it actually got pretty good. It got fast-paced, and I did not anticipate what was going to happen there, so I'm glad it made a little turn for the better near the end. And then there was like a parallel between the main character and the sea creature, which was kind of smart. But overall, it was okay. Good, not great. I wanted to be scared, and I was not at all. It was a little bit cheesy, but I'm okay with cheesy, spooky books. I mean, it might be totally different if you read the book, like the actual ebook, and not listen to the graphic audio. So, you know, that's something to think about too. I would have probably had totally different opinions on it if I had read the book separately. So I am going to start Starve Acre and see how that goes. I think it's really short. I think it should only take me like a couple hours or so with the audiobook reading along. I'm hoping I can finish it tonight, but yeah, I'll let you know. Hi friends, okay, so we're back home. It's Sunday afternoon. Last night I got a little more than halfway done with Starve Acre, and then this morning while we were just having like a slow morning and having coffee and stuff at the campsite before we packed up, I finished it. So I really love this book. I'm gonna give it 4 stars. It's a super unique take on grief in a really like gothic, haunting way. On the cover of the book, it says that it's going to be turned into a movie. I totally understood why this would be an amazing movie. It reminds me a lot of The Witch, where like that folky horror, slow, like builds up the suspense. You don't really know what's going on in a rural area. And but it reminds me of that with Pet Sematary a little bit. It's not as scary as either of those, at least the book wasn't to me, because I find both of those movies pretty spooky. Overall, I really enjoyed it. I thought the characters were great. You know, at first I wasn't sure if it was going to be a haunting or if it was like a folklore or like a witch or what was happening, and there's a few things in there that I'm really happy it took them the way that it did. You know, this family is dealing with a lot. I really liked how everything that happened seemed pretty logical. There wasn't anything that I was like, well, why would they be doing this or why would they not do that? Like, all the decisions that they made seemed to make sense in my mind. Like, I understand like someone going through grief why you would do these things. So I thought that was really smartly written. And the ending of this is just, wow. I can just like envision this in a movie and it being the final scene, and I'm just like, wow, kind of shocked and in awe of it. Doesn't quite leave you hanging, but there's a little bit of like, oh, what's gonna happen next kind of thing, which I was totally fine with, and I was super satisfied with the ending. I really liked it. Overall, I think I'm gonna give it 4 stars. I would definitely give it a read. It's spooky, haunting, the atmosphere is great. We have some really good characters and some amazing commentary on grief and being a parent, as well as like, you know, what will you do for your family, or how far would you go for like the memory of a child. And yeah, really haunting, sad story. Not super scary, but overall I could see why this would be scary to some people. And it's just like that haunting, like gnawing effect that it has. So I really enjoyed it. But now we're home. I didn't update you this morning. We were getting packed up and we were trying to leave, get on the road before traffic got bad coming back. Now we're home. I don't know what I'm gonna read next. I love how all of these 3 books were not on my TBR at all for July. That's okay. I did decide to give, I think I'm going to give What Lurks Beneath 2.5. The more I thought about it, I was like, this isn't great. The characters weren't great. And really it was just like the point of view between both the characters and the sea creature that really tripped me up, and I did not enjoy it all. Like, I feel like it would have been better if, you know, like in Jaws, how there's that suspense and you don't know when it's gonna attack. That's what I needed from that book, and that couldn't happen because every time the sea creature was gonna go after someone, the book told you that. So that was kind of a bummer. But overall, not a horrible weekend of reading, especially when it comes to books like these, you know, things that are more spooky. It's kind of hit or miss a lot of the times. But Starbaker, loved. I'm giving it 4 stars. Might even do 4.5. I really enjoyed it. What Lurks Beneath 2.5, and then The Laws of the Sky. Yes, I think I gave that 3 or 3.5. I mean, it was really, man, that was dark. Like, the more I think about it, I'm like, that was so dark. And even in the synopsis, if you read the synopsis, it says that like no one comes out alive, so you know everyone dies. But like every time a character died, I was like, oh my gosh, like this is rough. So it was super effective in that way. But yeah, I will update you. I don't know if I'm gonna vlog what I'm reading tonight, since it's not camping anymore, and this is like a camping reading vlog, but we'll see. Since this is like a Summerween camping spooky reading vlog, I did want to talk about You're Not Supposed to Die Tonight by Caitlin Bayron. I finished it a couple of days before Summerween started, and I absolutely loved it. I thought it was a super fun time. In the book, it kind of mentions Friday the 13th and Scream, and it's funny because that's exactly what the book is pretty much. It is set at a camp, and the camp is essentially a haunted attraction, and it's like all out, full contact, hardcore, intense haunted attraction, like spooky to the max, which was like, I would love to do that. That sounds so fun. Our main character, she works at this haunted attraction, and she stays at the camp for the summer and works there, and she's kind of in charge of everything after working there for a few years. We come into the book, it's almost the end of the season for the camp in the haunted house, and you know, things start happening. Some people haven't shown up that are supposed to work there. We don't know where they are. They seem to have just up and left the camp, and spooky things happen. And she has some friends, and one of them is like super like hyper aware of horror movies, and it like brings in that kind of like Scream aspect where you have that person who's like, don't do this, this will get you killed, like kind of thing. And I thought that was really fun. It's kind of like a slasher, but it takes an unexpected turn, and I really appreciated it. I thought that the twist was pretty good and entertaining, and overall it was pretty spooky, and all the characters, I enjoyed them. I thought they were pretty well written. It has some really good representation. I would highly recommend it. Like, as far as like a campsite like campfire-side or like just summer nighttime spooky read, 100% recommend it. It's a super fast-paced read. Like, I read it in one sitting in one night, so if you're looking for something that you just want to knock out super quickly, I would highly recommend it. I think it was fun, has some good representation in there, the story was great, has that full campy horror thing, and it definitely is like a mix of Friday the 13th and Scream. So, and if you're like a fan of scary movies, I think you would enjoy it as well. So I wanted to mention that because I did read that, even though technically wasn't in Summerween, but I thought it was worth a mention to let you guys know what I thought about it. I think that's gonna be it for this vlog. I think I am gonna vlog all of Summerween. Today's Sunday, so there's still quite a few days left. 4 days left. So I'll keep you all updated, and I'm excited to see what everyone is reading for Summerween and the reviews and recommendations, and I hope I get some really great ideas from all of y'all, and I hope that you can get some from me as well. I hope you have a great rest of your week.